And welcome to a new Energy Crew podcast. I'm your host, JP Warren. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. And I'm excited. I think this is the first kind of the first several new podcasts we have was just kind of me talking out there. It's kind of me talking and kind of sharing kind of little insights and tips and tricks and kind of just things that I've been through personally. And if this helps out one person, I think it's worth it. I'm honestly one of the things that I kind of promote is being uncomfortable. It's kind of stepping out into those times and situations that make you uncomfortable, to kind of stretch yourself a little bit. So that's why I'm kind of I'm recording this live on. I'm actually live streaming this on TikTok, something that I've never done before. However, this is something that obviously I'm uncomfortable doing. But if I want to continue to pursue my passion and a dream and vision of being a coach, then I'm gonna have to start getting uncomfortable, especially on LinkedIn Live, and who knows, or not LinkedIn Live, TikTok, and who's me looking at this. So part of this new journey of Energy Crew is, yes, I know we've had a lot of great guests on, we've had a lot of great discussions from different leaders. However, something that I've been kind of showing more interest on as I've pursued kind of this mindset focus, this imposter syndrome, I guess this imposter syndrome subject, pursuing whatever I'm doing, this program that I'm putting together to help people face their imposter syndrome, not just face it, but also turn it into kind of a strength. A superpower is kind of share my insights and share what has worked for me in the past. And this kind of came up just kind of moments that are kind of inspire me. And so if I'm rambling a little bit, bear with me. But I think I'm going to try to keep these around 10 to 20 minutes, something that's digestible, so you can kind of dive into. And the first one that we're going to get into is consistency. Is consistency key? So, and the reason why this kind of got brought up, again, this is a personal story that I had, I think last week. I was talking to the conversation came about. Let's just get into it. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I want you to think about this as we come up to the end of the year. This is December right now, and as we plan for next year, think about your consistency. And is consistency really carrying you over the line, or is it just kind of getting the job done? Is your consistency really just a routine or a habit that you're just living by, not really challenging yourself, not really getting out of your way? And this kind of came up. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and if he listens to this, love you. No, it is a compliment. This is a learning moment. So I was talking to a buddy of mine. He started kind of expressing, he's like, oh, we just let go someone, he's in sales. We let someone go in this district. And, unfortunately, I'm going to have to start getting out to this district on once a week. I'm going to have to go to Midland once a week, once a month, for a week. And he mentioned this to me, and and I said, okay, so are you excited about this? And he says, no, I'm not. I have to get out there, and I have to be out there a week and hopefully make some sales, hopefully make some calls, get in front of people, start talking to customers and all that stuff. And I was listening to this. I was kind of digesting it. And I said, okay, well, what's your goal getting out there? And he mentioned, hey, look, if I'm out there enough, if I stay consistent about being out there, something's going to happen. And that's kind of where this whole subject came. That's where this whole episode came from. The question was, is consistency really the key? I mean, is that really kind of going to, is he going to be spinning his wheels, going to a different city just in hopes to get an appointment, to get a meeting, to get a sale? So we kind of talked about this. And look, if you're going out, if you're doing something, I don't care if it's your job, if it's a relationship, if it's working out. And this is just a question to kind of put out there. And I've noticed this too. It's whenever I come to any of my work aspects, but let me prop this out there. Is consistency going to get you through? Is it going to bring you to that next level? Working out, you go to the gym, very consistent behavior. Going to the gym, that's great. And behaviors are really good. However, if I go to the gym every single day and I'm staying consistent with that, however, I'm not adding any additional weights, I'm not running an extra mile, I am not increasing the difficulty or the tasks, the challenge that lies ahead of me, and I'm just showing up on a consistent motion, will I ever get stronger? Will my mile a minute ever improve? Probably not. So again, if you're looking at this, and again, the action, the behavior is showing up to the gym every single day. That's great behavior to have. That's an excellent habit to have. However, is that consistency going to elevate you? Is that going to bring you to the next level? And for me, I think it's the action that follows the consistency. It's the action of putting on another 5 pounds, of running another 5 minutes, of staying there just a little bit longer. So for me, you can look at that two ways. There's consistency of showing up, the behavior of getting to the gym every single day, and then there's the action that follows it. Okay, so we can also look at relationships. I mean, look at, if you come home from a long day at work, you say hello to your husband or wife, and that's it. Your behavior is showing up every single day, giving a kiss and doing your thing. You sit in front of the TV, you get on your phone for 45 minutes, you have dinner, take a shower, go to bed, kiss your kids. If your consistency is constantly showing up and staying in this routine habit, staying in this habit just because this is something that you've been done, how will that serve you? How will that serve your relationship? Is that going to keep your relationship where it's at, or is it going to help improve it? And I know that when it comes to marriages or any relationship or anything like that, it takes work, it takes effort, it takes action. So again, consistency, showing up at your house every day is kissing your spouse, hello, goodbye. That's the consistent behavior. What actions are you going to do as a spouse, as a father, as a mother, that levels up your consistency? What actions will you take? Is that inserting a date night between you and your spouse? Is that doing a movie night with your kids where you actually make the thing? So it's again, there's all these ideas and all that stuff. However, I have found whenever I show up after a long week of traveling, or whether I show up after a long day of work, and I just kind of sit in this mode, like, well, I'm here, okay, I'm home, and I don't put any action. I don't put any action or energy or effort on that second part, which is being there. It's being present. It's building the relationship with my daughter, building the relationship with my wife. If that action's not there, our relationship is going to stay consistent. And that's not what I want out of a relationship. That's not what I want when I go to the gym. That's not what I want in a relationship. Now, looking at the work side of things, consistency. Okay, so this my buddy of mine could keep going to Midland over and over and over, just to go up there, just to show up, just to stand there, because it's consistent. Hey, consistency pays off, right? Well, I don't believe so. I think it has to be the action. So when we talk about actions when it comes to work, I want to throw something out there. And I'd throw out a lot of things that I make up on the spot because it's kind of fun and kind of hopefully think some things will stick. But I want you to think about your VAA, your value added actions. What are you doing? What is this person going to do when he flies to Midland for a week, a month, besides spin his wheels and spend money? What's his value added action? And we discussed this, and we said, okay, what about this? What you're consistently showing up, that's great and all, but what action are you going to take to level you up, to separate you from your competition, to differentiate you from somebody else, that's some of the 100 other people that are showing up from Tuesday to Thursday or Monday to Thursday in Midland? What are you doing? What are you doing extra? And when we talked about that, what value are you bringing to the table? What action could you do that increases your value? And we talked about that. I mean, can you do shop tours? Can you host educational events where the younger years or generation can kind of go and learn and discover what your product is, what service it has? So what value added actions are you going to put out there? So again, I don't think consistency is key. I think consistency combined with action is key. And that's the important part, action. All right. So my thing is this. And again, we've been coming up 8 minutes. I love this. I love these short little clips. At least I think I do. This is the first one. So just bear with me. All right. So now, how do we know when we're just being consistent with something? How do we know when it's time to put in more action, when it's time to kind of level up, when it's time to continue with the consistency, but do insert a value added action? And I think that it kind of comes down to several situations. But off the top of my head, you can list this too when you're at whether at the house or in your car, wherever you're listening to this to. But the first time I would probably do this, whenever you're trying to think of actions to add to your consistent behavior, is when you're bored and tired of the same shit, different day. When you're tired of doing the same thing over and over. When it gets to burnout mode. When it gets to, oh, I got to go there, 8 to 5 and do this, or okay, another week is coming up just to do this. That is a perfect time for you to stop yourself and say, yes, okay, I have this consistent schedule ahead of me that I have to do. I have these consistent tasks that I have to do. However, what additional value added actions can I do that help level me up and also help the company or help my customer, whatever that looks like? What additional thing can I go to the office today, and whether it's converse with someone, whether it's learn something new, something that creates more value for you. All right. The second thing is when you look at another consistency thing. I mean, this kind of goes to when I was talking about my friend who was going out to Midland and all that stuff. Another time to kind of change your approach and kind of start adding value added actions, I believe, is when you kind of look around you and you see nothing but your competitors around you. If you glance up, if your head's in the sand, you're working hard, plugging away, and you stop and you look up and you see all your competition around you and you're just doing the same thing day in, day out. Doesn't that mean your competition is kind of caught up to you? Doesn't it mean that your competition is probably doing the same repetitive, consistent behaviors that you're doing and everyone else is doing? That's probably a good time to, when you want to look around, you want to stand out, to look around. That's when you start kind of thinking about what value can you provide to yourself? What value can you provide to your customers? What additional value, action, or something can you learn that you can either transfer or hold on to that increases value? And the third thing is, this is kind of one of those things where it's whether it's you're getting redundant with the same task or something like that, but this is personal. This is kind of comes from inside you. This is when you know you can do better. When you're doing the consistent routine over and over and over, and it's not fulfilling you. You know there's something else there. So strive for that. Scratch that itch that's itching you, or answer that voice that's calling you. If it's one of those things where it's time for you to kind of where you feel like, hey, look, I'm more than this, or I deserve better, or I can do better here. That's when you step up the value added action. That's when you put that action behind that consistent behavior to really level up and really kind of help you. So again, I think consistency is great. I think consistency, whenever it comes to working out routines, you have to have consistency. Again, including podcasts. So I'm thinking about this podcast. I walked around. I probably burnt about 4 hours today just thinking, doing other tasks, getting on other stuff before I did this. However, I realized something. I told myself, hey, if I want to be consistent with this, if I want to be consistent with getting my insight, my outlooks, kind of my experiences out there, not only do I have to be consistent, but I have to bring certain value added action. I have to start doing these awkward, personal episodes where it's just me sharing kind of my input and my outlooks. And again, does anyone listen to that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Even if it helps one person, or even if even my wife listens to it, it doesn't matter to me. So my thing is, again, the podcast is the consistent part, but the value added action is me doing stuff like this, discussing what I've seen, what I've learned, what I've noticed, things I want to challenge you on as well. So again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning into this Energy Crew podcast. Again, consistency, is it key? Is it enough? Is it enough to level you up to that level you need to get to? Probably not. I think consistency is a great habit. It's a great routine to get into, but always think about what additional action could I add behind that helps increase my value or my value to my customers. So thank y'all. We hope you enjoyed this Energy Crew podcast, and hope you're putting your energy in the right direction. All right, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.